and welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Rosemary M. I'm here with Gary Fuchs, who is the Director of Camping Services at Camp Speers Eljabar in Pike County. And we have a lot of background noise already here with campers.
We are filled with activity today. Yeah, we have an outside group here today. We have a couple hundred kids, probably our largest group of the year here today. They stay until Friday. Full program of outdoor education, team building, leadership skills, and they come back year after year. They absolutely love it here.
That's great, and I think you have so many different programs that we probably could talk for a very long time, and we'll go into detail on some of them.
Okay.
But I think the first thing that people should know is first, where are you? And as a lot of our people, the people that are watching are locals, so of Pike County and of Monroe County. So where are you? How long has Camp Speers Eljabar been here, and how can they, utilize some of the services here?
Okay. Camp Speers Eljabar YMCA has been in existence since 1948. It was the first fully integrated overnight summer camp in the YMCA system. We've been serving Pike County with our day camp and overnight programs for many, many years. About 25 years ago, to really focus on Pike County, we instituted our day camp program, and our day camp program at any given time has somewhere between 110 and 150 campers in it. It's funny when people drive up the road and they see the little Dingman's Ferry post office on Nitchacronk Road and 719, they don't realize that a huge 1,100-acre oasis sits right beyond. So it's actually amazing when people come in and they see the beauty of this place. They're totally amazed.
I know the first time that I came back here, I thought it was going to be right when I turned off the road, and then you just keep driving and driving back, and then you run into all the different parts of the camps.
People don't realize that just from our front office to here where we're standing in Camp Speers, which is our teen camp, is well over a mile just on the camp road.
Yeah.
So it's an absolutely huge place. Our lake is a beautiful natural 42-acre lake. We have trails all around our property so that our kids can explore, learn about nature, team building, every kind of activity you can imagine.
And it's important now too, because the kids are getting so involved with technology.
Yes.
And they seem to be, which is good in many ways, but they seem to be more attached to technology and the computers and the game systems.
That's right.
So this part of child experience is very important. So what kind of programs for the summertime? Now you said you do overnight, mostly overnight, right?
Yeah, we have 3 camp programs that run here at Camp Speers Eljabar YMCA. We have our Discovery Day Camp, which I told you about, and those kids go home in the evenings. But our huge program is Speers and Eljabar. Camp Eljabar is for campers going into, that's grades 3 through 7, and Camp Speers is grades 8 to 11. At any given time, again, you're talking about 110 to 140, 150 campers on each side.
At one time.
At one time. So we are a very, very large camp.
And they're separated, right? So the one is in one location and the one is in the other location.
That is correct. When you first drive into camp, you're in Eljabar.
Right.
And then as you progress down the road, you enter to the Speers territory. And it's very nice because when the younger kids grow up, they look forward to coming down the hill and graduating to Speers.
And that's where we are now, you said,
it's a new life for them.
Right.
Down the hill down here, this is Camp Speers, and it's absolutely beautiful down here. This is actually where I live, and we like people to know that we actually live on camp. We take a lot of pride in the fact that we live here. This is part of our lives, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, what's nice is that I think sometimes even parents, with the age groups different, so there is a separation there where they feel it's appropriate for the right age group together, and they're still getting the very similar experiences. So.
Yep. As a matter of fact, we try to give them a similar experience. In the morning, they have their coaching periods where they're able to choose activities they want to learn about for a period of 5 days during the summer. In the afternoon, they have what's called discovery periods, and discovery periods are from a menu that we give them, and they can try something new. It's similar in Eljabar and Speers. We do have facilities enough for everybody, so we have archery ranges for all 3 camps, riflery ranges for all 3 camps. We have a beach on each side of the lake, one for the younger kids, one for the older kids. Each side has their own dining room. so we can fully facilitate all 3 camps at any given time.
Nice. So there's a lot of activities for them to choose from, and then they kind of stay consistent within those once they choose them.
Absolutely. What we try to do is a little different. A lot of camps stress the athletics. A lot of camps only stress a sport or art or one given thing, and they have a specialty. We try to stress the team building. We try to stress that kids develop friendships. We want kids to leave here and grow and be more independent and really learn and thrive from their experience here.
Right. And it sounds like behind us they're having a lot of fun.
They're having a lot of fun right now.
Gary,
and that's only part of them.
Right, that's only half of the
Yes.
crowd, right? Well, we're going to head over to the lake a little bit
Sure,
and
absolutely.
just see the lake and look at some of the cabins and
Great.
talk a little bit more in depth about the length
Okay.
of some of the programs. Now, Gary, we are in front of this beautiful lake that is just so
Nitcherkrunk.
peaceful.
Absolutely my favorite place in camp.
So peaceful.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of cabins along the lake
Yep.
as well when the kids do the overnight camps.
The way camp is structured is on the Spears side, every single cabin has a view of the lake and a porch where the kids can hang out at night that overlooks the lake. And it's sort of a nice, peaceful place.
Very nice.
Camp Spears is broken up. There's sort of an imaginary line right at the dining room. One side is girls and one side is boys. But everybody has that view of the lake, and all the cabins are indeed built right on the lake. It's a little different on the Eljabar side, but everybody does have their own beach. Sailboats, kayaks, canoes, everything you could possibly imagine. It's a lot of fun.
And that's what we see behind us. We see
Yeah.
a lot of
It's a little breezy right now.
Yeah.
The water's still a little cool. We tested it and it was a little cool.
But there's some people out there on canoes and boats
Absolutely.
right now too. They look like they're really enjoying it. So we were talking a little bit about the type of camps that you have here. So you do have the camper that can go home at night if they so choose.
Yep.
And then you have the sleepover camps, usually arrive Sunday, leave Saturday. Did
Yes,
I get
they
that
do.
right? So
Yep.
for the full week. And is there different types of programs within those 1 week, even though they pick?
One of the programs I really wanted to tell you about, we have a very, very special program here we call Access. And it basically stands for All Campers Can Experience Speers Eljabar. We wanted to do something for a population that is really, their needs are not met. And we developed a camp here for children with mild to moderate special needs, developmental special needs. So they come, it's a fully inclusive program. They are integrated into a regular group. They participate in every single activity that any normally developing camper participates in, and we're very, very proud of it, and we really want more people to know about it.
No, that's wonderful. And how do they get information on that? Is there a special when they call to ask for that? Do they have to go through
The
a
best
process?
the best way to access any information on camp is, of course, to visit our website. It's www.campspearsymca.org. It's really a wealth of information. You could, of course, call us and get information that way.
And you can register online?
Everything is available online. You can register online. You can contact me online. Contact Sherry Hammond, our CEO, Louis Jester, who's my assistant director. We are all available all the time.
Great, great. And now, is there anything as far as different week-long camps?
Mm-hmm.
If there's somebody who's theatrical, and wants to have a little more theater mixed in, those are the choices that you were talking about
Yeah.
before?
During our periods in the morning, our coaching periods, the children can choose the things that they like to do and develop their skills in that area. We have a popular one, which is sailing, and we actually have to do it more than one period because of its popularity. But sailing will teach basic skills, and they'll progress throughout the week. And then on Friday, they'll be skilled enough where the point of those periods is for them to take that skill home with them at the end of the summer, where they have learned something new. Our afternoon discovery periods are really for them to experience something new, see if they do like it, and if they like it, we can make that into a morning coaching period and extend it so they can learn more about it.
Right, so they may try something they never tried
Exactly.
before and realize that they like it.
Oh, one of the things we have here, we have international staff, and they'll bring rugby balls, and our kids have never seen, heard of rugby in their lives.
Right.
So they like to experience things from all over the world, and we can expose them to that.
Right. Now, camp price-wise, for campers. What can we tell the viewers a little bit? They can go online, they can register online, prices are online. What is a normal week or day with night? Going home at night?
The one point that I really want to stress to anyone watching this is the beauty of our organization, the beauty of working with a YMCA camp. We are a non-for-profit camp, and my goal and the goal of our organization is for every camper that we come into contact with to experience summer camp for at least a week, 2 weeks during the summer. Because we are a YMCA camp, it allows us some flexibility where we can help families that cannot be helped as much by a privately owned camp.
Right.
So I encourage anyone, we understand as an organization that people are going through tough times. If you want your child to attend summer camp, if you feel that it's worthy of a conversation with myself, with Sherry, our CEO, with Lewis, my assistant director, please reach out and talk to us and at least allow us the opportunity to try to get your kid here for the summer.
Yeah, and it is a tough time for everyone, and it does become, is it too expensive? Can they afford to do it? But the kids want to do it, and it's a great thing.
The beauty of this place is we offer every amenity and the beauty of any camp out there, and we really offer the quality of program of any other camp, and we are so competitively priced. Because we are a nonprofit, that it is very affordable, and we have opportunities for those families that do need assistance.
Which is great, One last question for you. I know a lot of parents get very concerned about safety, sending their children overnight, myself especially.
Absolutely.
So safety-wise, what are the rules and regulations you follow with all of your staff?
The beauty of our staff is, number one, a lot of our staff grew up here. They know the deal, they know our rules, they know how things run. Take, for example, the lake behind you. We train our own lifeguards. So they have to get past us to patrol this beach. And we take a lot of pride in that. Our record is absolutely perfect. We have a perfect record with the ACA. We are an ACA accredited camp. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that it is such a safe environment. And I'll tell you, Sherry will tell you, and she's our CEO, and my children are all campers here. And we, for us, we take that very seriously.
Great. And I'm sure the parents will be very happy to hear that. And Gary, we just had a great conversation about some of the details of some of the programs here at the camp. And we have a special guest with us now. And I'll let you do the introduction since you work so closely.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the lady that brought me back up north, and our CEO here in the organization, Miss Sherry Hammond.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Rosemary. Thanks for coming today.
My pleasure. And like I said, I was here a little while ago, and this is such a beautiful camp. And I know that you're continuously updating and doing new things, but we went through a few of the specialties of the camp. But I know you have more to add.
Oh, do you have 10 or 12 hours? It's so exciting. This is going to be our 64th year. Camp Speers Eljabar was founded by a group of YMCA volunteers and staff to be an experiment back in 1948. And the experiment was to bring boys of white upper middle class backgrounds and boys of African American low income backgrounds and bring them together. And it was the first fully integrated interracial camp. And since then, we've just expanded our whole commitment to being that camp for every child, whether it means economically or geographically. We have kids coming from China, Spain, all places in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, France, you name it, as well as staff. So we have, we look at diversity in many, many ways now from that really pioneering 1948 experiment.
It's amazing it was an experiment.
Yeah.
It was amazing to be an experiment and to be where it is, and it just makes sense. So it's just amazing that it is where it is, and it's turned into such a great place. I mean, it's not surprising at all.
No.
Now, when I was here the last time, you did speak about your students that are coming over from overseas, and how they stay here for most of the summer, right?
Most of them about a month. The minimum's kind of about 3 weeks. So that cohort is growing. we try and keep real balance, so we're not, you know, an all international camp or everyone from urban areas. You know, we try and be very, very diverse. So that segment, though, is growing.
It's great to meet a friend from another country and vice versa, and really get to know maybe a different language or how they live, how it's different from how they're used to. So that's an education in itself.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, you mentioned also quickly when we weren't on camera a little bit about a tiered program.
Oh, this is so exciting. You know, in keeping with our belief that Camp Speers Eljabar should be the camp for everyone, and believing that every family has differing abilities to afford sending their child to camp, we created a 4-tier system. And so the first tier is the actual cost of camp, what it costs us to provide the program. Second tier is slightly subsidized, or as we call it, camper shipped, with donations. Third tier more so. And then fourth tier is an application which could be up to 85% off. And the first 3 tiers, the parents decide. It's all about choose what tier fits your family. It's exciting.
It is exciting, and you find, like you said, very honest factor of people saying, I can afford this, I can't afford this, and this is where I should be paying. And that's nice to hear, that people are very honest with where they can afford to pay.
I think parents will always, even in bad times, and these are tough economic times, will always put their money where they think it's going to most benefit their kids. And camping is something that benefits their kids, not just for the week of the summer they're here, but for their lifetime.
Well, I hope that the people watching, you know, local from Pike County, local from Monroe County, that if they didn't know, that they now know where Camp Speers Eljabar is, and the great camp that you have, and the different options. And as Gary said earlier, you can go onto the website and you can get a lot of different information. So if you want to apply there and you want to learn more about the programs, I'll call personally and speak to either one of you. So, Sherry, thank you very much for having us here
our
today.
Pleasure.
Gary,
thank you, Rosemary.
thank you.
Anytime you want.
Thank you.
Bring the kids.
I will. I'll take you up on that. And now we're going to go on to the next phase of our show, which deals with RSVP, Retired Senior Volunteer Program. So we're at the kids camp, and then we're going on to the Retired Senior Program. So we'll be back in a minute. Hello, I'm State Representative Rosemary Brown.
And I'm State Representative Mario Scavello.
We'd like to invite you to our Senior Citizens Expo on Monday, July 23rd from 9 to 2 at Pocono Mountain East High School in Swiftwater.
Light refreshments will be offered at this free event that includes blood pressure screenings, hearing tests, pre-diabetes testing, and the Mobile Veterans Center will also be available.
For more information or directions, contact our offices. The information will be listed on your screen. We hope to see you there.
Did you know that the main entrance to the Pennsylvania State Capitol building is home of 2 bronze doors that each weigh over 1 ton? As the primary entrance to this beautiful architectural building, the bronze doors signify the many accomplishments and sacrifices endured throughout the history of the Commonwealth. The magnificent archway over top the doors contains a portrait of William Penn, founder of the Keystone State. The upper panels on the doors commemorate the forming of our nation, with the signing of the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. The bottom panels depict the laborious industries of the Commonwealth, including coal mining and agriculture. Now you know.
Welcome back to the Legislative Report. A little earlier, I was with the youth in my district at Camp Speers Eljabar, and now I'm actually with Merle Turretts, Executive Director. I like to say Executive Director. Merle says Director of the RSVP program in Monroe County with some of our seniors. And Merle, many people know what RSVP is, but let's take it as if they didn't know, and maybe there's some viewers that are just learning about RSVP and what that is.
Sure. RSVP actually stands for Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. It's a federal program. The bulk of our funding comes from the federal government, but we are sponsored locally here from the Office of Aging and the county commissioners. We are here to service the county. Our volunteers are from the county, and I'm really proud to say that we have 850. It's amazing. Active members. These are volunteers who are over the age of 55. I think the funniest thing is when somebody comes into my office and says, I'm 63, you know, I can't do too much. I'm limited in what I can do. And I always tell them, I hope they come on Friday, because on Friday, I say, you see Rose sitting over there? Rose is 95, and she comes every Friday. Right. So we have people from 55 to well into their 90s doing
And I'm
all
sure they
kinds of
come in
things.
and say they can't, they're not going to do much, and then they probably come in and get very excited and do a lot, because there's a lot of opportunities.
We offer opportunities at 150 different agencies in the county, and I know you work with all of them, so you know what we do. And I know you're a big supporter of RSVP, and I appreciate it.
Program.
We have, last year, our volunteers put in somewhere in the area of 173,000 hours of volunteer work, and I think that amounts to, when they translate it to the hourly, the volunteer hourly wage, which is somewhere in the almost $21 an hour, comes out to over $3 million worth of goods and services free to the county. So we are, even though you know, it cost a little bit to run this program, we save.
Well worth it.
Well worth the investment. Well worth the investment financially, but for the seniors, it's a two-way street. The seniors who are volunteering, it adds to their quality of life. There are some seniors who view volunteering like a job. They know that Wednesday they're going to get up, they're going to get dressed, they're going to be at their location, just like you get up and come to your office. That's how they look at it. There are some of these seniors who aren't talking to another adult all week. Right. They're sitting in their homes. It gives them a reason to get up, get dressed. My previous director would say, you get up in the morning and you put on your shoes. You don't put on your slippers. It's a great way of looking at life. Yes, right. And the volunteers do that. They get up. They have a purpose. It adds to their quality of life. On the other hand, we are servicing clients, say, of the Office of Aging. And the Office of Aging, like all the social services, stressed, overworked, under budget, all of those things.
Expanding, the need is expanding.
And you know your population here is expanding. You can't be everywhere at every time. Things fall through the crack. You can't always get to Mrs. Smith when she needs it. But I have volunteers who are grocery shopping so Mrs. Smith can stay safe and independent in her home. I have volunteers who are transporting people to medical appointments that would not otherwise be able to get there. We have one of the biggest issues that came out of the county assessment was the transportation issues that we have here. So we have volunteers who are cleared through the county. They've got to go through a clearance. They can help in situations for people who are limited at budget, or say somebody who has visual impairments. They can't get from their door to the curb where the mass transportation is taking them. They need somebody to hold their hand and walk them down the steps, walk them down their ramp, whatever it is. We can do that. We're not limited into what we can do. And I have volunteers who'll do that. Again, keeps that client in their home and safe, independent, not in a county nursing home. Again, saving taxpayers the money of that kind of care.
Well, the needs are so varied, and the story can change from house to house what each person needs. So you're, like you said, you're very flexible.
And they change within the client.
Right.
I have a client that we did medical transportation for 2 weeks ago, and we had taken her several times, but her health deteriorated. Nobody had seen that because maybe it's 3, 4, 5 months before somebody actually goes to her house. And my volunteer called me back and he says, Merle, I took so-and-so to this place, and she's so debilitated at this point that she can't move her legs. I had to actually lift her leg to get on the steps. And of course, our job is, we're not professionals, our job is to go back to the caseworker, which we did, and I have a wonderful support staff in the Office of Aging. They are incredibly supportive, and I called Patty Fretz, the director over there, and said, somebody needs to go take a look. And of course, I always say that our volunteers are the eyes and ears out on the field.
They identify. They can help identify even more needs or something that might be
if
not
something,
normal.
You know, they flag, there's a red flag, and our volunteers are trained to do that. They're not just going to say hi and play chess with Mr. Jones. They're there also to look at his surroundings. Also, within the last couple of weeks, we had somebody who was identified as a hoarder living in these circumstances that they shouldn't be, and had my minor home repair person who was there just to do a cleanup, had he not noticed the surroundings, we don't know what happens, but we want to keep her safe. He came back to me and again identified that there was this lack and somebody needs to go pay attention. So the volunteers serve a really, they're not just nice people doing nice things, which they are, but they play a very important role.
And I always think with retired seniors too, wisdom and years of knowledge from their previous jobs and just life in general, they have so much to offer. And it's such, like you said, a wonderful service for everyone. It just comes back. It's all good. It's good for everyone.
I really like my job. I really like Monday. I look forward to it. I do look forward because you learn so much. And one of the things, and I started to tell Linda in your office, and Lorna was actually with me from your office at this event we had it'll be almost a week, at the East Stroudsburg School District.
Yes.
It was an outreach program through the technology resource under Brooke Langan in J.T. Lambert. And it was a role reversal. It was the students, the high school students, teaching my volunteers. This was in celebration of National Senior Corps Week. It was a wonderful event. And here you had, there must have been 16 or 17 students teaching the seniors. So it was a role reversal, but it was great. They learned how to use their Facebook and Skype so that they could talk to their grandkids who now have moved away, their digital phones and cameras. It was a one-on-one instruction. It was a great opportunity. But I remember saying to the two students, that for the kids, it was a chance for them to see, just because you've reached this age, my children will say, Ma, he was 40. It's like, oh, jeez, But, the perspective is crazy, but that we're not too old to ever stop learning. We're not too old to face these challenges. And it was important for the students to see that. On the other hand, it was important for my volunteers to see that these high school kids aren't all thugs. They're not all, techno geeks and
everybody
stuff.
helping each other.
It was a wonderful intergenerational experience that worked on so many levels. So
very nice. Well, Merle, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And I think it's important that the community, if they don't already know what RSVP is, that they do now. And hopefully if they know someone or they themselves want to become involved with RSVP, they can contact you. What is the best way for them to get in touch or become a volunteer?
Multiple ways. I'm located right on Lower Main Street in the old Holland Thread Mill building. And our office hours are 8 to 4:30. Doors always open. There's always somebody there. They can call it 570-420-3747. We have a website through the county website. There's an RSVP website. They can go there to see all the different opportunities we have. They can contact me through there. There's an email. But we're always looking for good volunteers who are dedicated, who want to do something to help their community, to do community service. It helps them, it helps the community. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win all around.
It is.
Thank you, Merle, very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that the viewers really appreciate learning
We
a little bit
appreciate
about
all
more
you do,
RSVP.
too.
Thank you. That's it for the legislative report. I'm State Representative Rosemary Brown. If you have any questions regarding this program today or any other state-related matters, please feel free to contact my office. The information will be provided on the screen. Thank you.